This is an excerpt of a recent PowerUp webinar presenting tips for a better workflow using Apple Final Cut Pro 10. Hi, my name is Larry Jordan. In this excerpt, I'll show you how to work with keywords. I have a new library with no media in it. I always have a media folder, and I always have a projects folder. And if my project is stored in the wrong folder, just grab it and drag it where it's supposed to go, and you can move it around. I have no media here. On my hard disk, I've created a folder. This is footage that I have from Pond 5. And what I've done is I labeled the master folder Pond 5. Call this My Movie, or the name of your movie. The Pond 5 is a label which I can use, and all the scenes from my movie are stored inside Pond 5. Inside this incredible documentary that I'm putting together, I've got animals and dancing and people and scenic shots and space because, well, it made sense to me. Which is saying something. Anyway, there's no magic to the folder name, but let's say the folder is Scene 1 or Scene 2 or Scene 3. Then inside Scene 1 or Scene 2 or Scene 3, let's take a look at the animals. I have a folder of bears and some loose clips. Maybe this is scene 1, and this is the shoot on day 1 or day 16. Or maybe you want to say this is a particular interview. Or maybe it's particular B-roll. There's no magic, but don't get into the habit of naming files. This is what we did when we were dealing with video that we captured from tape. We would take each individual scene. With digital files, the files are named by the camera, and changing the file name inside the Finder is going to cause you a problem. Instead, change folder names, because you have complete control over folder names. For instance, here under People, I've got still images of people and video images of people. So I went through and I organized my media into folders, gave the folders meaningful names. Let's go back to Final Cut. Let's close this. I'm going to select the media folder, open up the media import window, and navigate down inside my training media. It's on the desktop, Larry. And navigate down on the desktop to Pond 5. Notice that I select the containing folder. Now let's take a look over here. We can make keywords from Finder tags, which I never use, or from folders, which I always use. I do check the bottom 3 boxes and I click Import Selected. Final Cut now hums and whistles for a minute. And then when it's done, there's my clips. Well, look at what's happened. Without me having to do anything, it took those folder names and it brought all that media in. Let's just turn off sorting. So I can say, show me just my bear clips, and all the files that were inside the bear folder show up. Or show me the stills of people. Or show me the video people. This is what makes the folder naming so cool, is that when I import and assign keywords to it, my media is already organized without me having to do any work at all. Or I want to say, show me people dancing. This is an effect shot, so I'm going to click here. Click on this key icon. This opens up the keyword. I'm going to call this an effect shot. So I'll click effect, and we'll click here, and we'll say, this is an effect shot. And we'll click here, and this is an effect shot, and I'll just do one more, and we'll do this one, which is an effect shot. Done. Notice that it's automatically created a keyword collection. I click on it, and there's the 4 clips that I had for effect. I could call this anything I want. First, before I even start Final Cut, I'm giving thought to how I want my folders organized. What breakdown, what organizational structure works the best for you for that project. Second thing is I then name folders rather than worrying about the clips. Name the folders, whatever I need. If it's important, once the file is inside Final Cut, you can change the file name by clicking on it. I'm going to call this Curtains Open. Now this file name exists only inside Final Cut. So the file name that's on the hard disk doesn't change, because that could break stuff given the structure of camera cards these days. but being able to change the name inside Final Cut makes life a lot easier. This has been an excerpt of a recent PowerUp webinar presenting tips for a better workflow using Apple Final Cut Pro 10. For the complete version of this training, please visit our store at larryjordan.com/store. By the way, when you need to stretch your training dollars, membership in our video training library saves you money and time. You can access all our videos for a low monthly price of only $19.99. That's more than 1,900 movies, hundreds of hours on a wide variety of subjects. Plus, premium members can download practice media and projects. Our training covers Apple and Adobe software. We update it multiple times every month. And for more information, visit larryjordan.com/membership. And thanks.